I don't put a whole lot of stock into it. I mean, what did he play? 4 or 5 games last season, had some good, had some bad, had some, meh kind of in between. I don't know much. I can't make a judgment really on Jalen Hurts. He's definitely not in the top half of quarterbacks, but I can't imagine he's 31 out of 32 going.
It is a Wednesday hump day edition of Birds 365 with the Mac and Mac guys. That would be McMullen and McDonald. We add another M to the mix. A double M, as a matter of fact, because he, of course, is a center part of the middle right here on the JAKIB Media YouTube channel. He is our buddy, my former partner. Johnny Mac's been doing spots with him for way too long, and we're glad to get him to return the favor and hop aboard and do a guest spot with us. Harry May joins us here on Birds 365. How you been, handsome Har?
I'm doing great, Jody and John. Great to be with you guys. Much success on the show. You've brought a lot of eyeballs to the JAKIB Media YouTube channel, and things are rocking and rolling, man. Great job.
I appreciate it, Harry. I thought it was going to get ripped for yesterday, so
no,
I appreciate it. But
I got that out of the way yesterday. When I rip, and then I move on.
I know. It's scorched earth. And speaking of scorched earth, I see your background of Brian Kerrigan.
Yeah.
Is that going to be a scorched earth pass rush for the Philadelphia Eagles this year?
Well, I think it's definitely going to help. I mean, he's not the Ryan Kerrigan of 3 or 4 years ago when he was putting up double-digit sack numbers, but, he was as productive in the sack numbers as one Derek Barnett, and with a lot fewer snaps. I think he played like 38% of the snaps with the football team down in Washington and got 5.5. So his production, per play, if you will, if there's some sort of metric like that, is still pretty good. So, I don't think it's a bad move. It's going to add to their rotation, and he's a pro. He's going to be good in that locker room. And I think, he's one of those guys, and I think we're starting to see this theme. And I know you guys have been talking about it with the new head coach, Nick Sirianni. He loves ball. He
does.
This guy, he loves ball. And I think that's, there's nothing wrong with that.
Agreed. And you kind of touched on it there. People have drawn a comparison between him and Chris Long. Mm-hmm. And it only makes sense that people would do that because we know the season that Long had here and how it ended for the Philadelphia football team with a parade to City Hall. More than just wishful thinking, because of the leadership qualities that Kerrigan brings here, Long was not only a competent player on the field, but a guy who was a take-charge guy in the locker room. Mm-hmm. Do you think the Eagles have the capability of repeating history with this signing?
That kind of history this year, no, I don't. I think this is more of a look-see type of a year is the way I sort of look at it, because you're looking to see if you have anything with the quarterback, and that's really what it comes down to in the NFL. I think he's going to add a good element in the locker room of experience and accomplishment. I think he's a better player in his career than Long was, but Long brought a real kind of. He was perfect. He was a perfect chemistry fit at the time for that Eagles team. And I think this guy's going to add to the chemistry, but I don't think it's going to result or it's going to end in the same result.
Well, Harry, that's interesting. You say look-see year for Jalen Hurts at quarterback. But in theory, the Eagles are looking at a lot of positions, a lot of players.
Yeah.
And my one concern, you bring in Ryan Kerrigan, you're right. He's a good player. I think he's got gas left in the tank. Derek Barnett is on a contract year. Josh Sweat is on a contract year. Don't you have to look at those players and say, are they part of our long-term future? And Kerrigan's going to be better.
Right.
As a coaching staff, you almost have to put him on the field.
Right.
Is that counterintuitive? Is that hurt a little bit?
I see what you're saying, because it's going to limit snaps. You can only put so many guys out there, and certain younger players, some of the guys they drafted, may not get as many opportunities, if you will, in a year which they don't want to say is a rebuild or a retool on the fly, but we all know it is, or at least that's the way I look at it. So in that regard, yeah, you're right. It's gonna limit guys that you would want to see here for maybe the next 3 to 5 years. I don't know that you can look beyond 3 to 5 in the NFL anymore these days. But yeah, that's a fair point and a fair maybe a sort of a criticism maybe of doing moves like this.
Harry, want to get your take on the move that the Eagles made yesterday. They brought in another DB, a cornerback, Josiah Scott from Jacksonville, played limited snaps for the Jaguars last year as a 6th-round draft pick. Most people look at him as a inside corner, a slot corner, and when you look at the Eagle roster, it looks like their biggest need is an outside corner.
Yeah.
Harry Roseman's been telling us, you remember we traded for Ronald Darby. It doesn't have to be a free agent. Could be a trade. Well, is this the trade that solves the Eagles' issues at the cornerback position?
Well, if it is, this is it's a blindsider to me. I mean, I never heard of this guy. I don't watch much Jacksonville Jaguars football, and I know you watch a lot of football, Jody. I doubt that you really have been dialed in on what's been
zeroing in on his action with the Jags. Yeah, that's me, Harry.
Right. So no, I don't think this is going to solve any of that. I think this, might just be a guy that ends up being one of their special teamers and a part-time player in the slot position.
Harry, a little interesting nugget about Josiah Scott. He's got 3 older brothers. They all went to Mount Union.
Is that right?
Which is where Nick Sirianni went.
Oh.
So maybe that's the connection. I had no idea.
See, this is the beauty of John McMullen, Jody. And I know you guys have been doing radio hits for a long. He finds these. He mines for nuggets. And that's awesome. What a connection. I mean, who knew?
Mount Union, the Division III powerhouse. And obviously, for people that don't know, that's where Nick Sirianni went. That's where he played.
So I guess he loves ball.
He loves ball, loves techniques, loves competition, loves rock, paper, scissors.
Right.
And he's going to beat Nick Sirianni. The guy doesn't win a rock, paper, scissors match.
Right.
Harry, I'm concerned about that. I don't know if you heard, Jody and I were talking before you came on. Pro Football Focus came out with their preseason quarterback rankings. Jalen Hurts, number 31 of 32.
Wow. Who's 32? It's my question.
Drew Lock.
Drew Lock.
Wow, man.
Well, so that's what we're talking about. Unfair, fair. Where are we with Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, I mean, these rankings, PFF comes out with some crazy stuff from time to time. I don't put a whole lot of stock into it. It's great for what we do because it gives us, fodder to talk about and punch holes in for as far as their arguments for it. But I don't put a whole lot of stock into it. I mean, what did he play? 4 or 5 games last season, had some good, had some bad, had some, meh kind of in between. I don't know much. I can't make a judgment really on Jalen Hurts. He's definitely not in the top half of quarterbacks, but I can't imagine he's 31 out of 32 going in. Geez, what do they base that on? I mean, what is their criticism? Did they follow it up with any kind of information?
The accuracy is a concern. 52%. Okay. Jody and I were talking. What middling probably right now is 65. That's a big chasm.
It is.
Get from 52 to 65. I think that's the biggest concern, the accuracy.
Well, okay, that's fair. But what was he working with too last year? I mean,
I brought that up.
They had, they've upgraded their wide receivers with the draft. Their offensive line, I think, was in shambles last season for various injuries, and it was like a revolving door of personnel. So I think some stability there will help him, and it should bring up that number. Is he going to be a 65% completion guy? Maybe not. I don't know if that maybe, but if you can get him to 60 to 62, that could be pretty good.
Yeah, he's got to get better than 52. That's for damn sure. All right, Harry, I'm a Hurts fan. If you listen to me here on 365, WIP, wherever else. I was one of very few who actually defended the Eagles for drafting him in the 2nd round. I did so because I thought they needed an inexpensive and safety net backup in case Carson Wentz got hurt. Sure enough, Carson Wentz stayed healthy all last year. but he stumped the joint out, which I didn't see coming. But I actually like the Hurts pick, and I like the kid as a potential starting quarterback. So when I go down this road, I'm playing devil's advocate here. Let's say he's not good enough. Let's say whatever length it takes, all 16 games, kind of like this past year, get to week 14 or 15 and go, well, we kind of owe Joe Flacco the way we owed Nate Sudfeld. Let's put him in there and let him show his worth for the rest of the day.
Right.
Whatever it is, we come to the determination he's not good enough. The Eagles have possibilities at the quarterback going forward. The draft picks that they have, the draft capitals that they have to potentially move up in the draft and or interest any other team that would be willing to trade a starting quarterback. How much are the Eagles in good position? Is this being overstated that if it's not Jalen Hurts, it's not an issue because they've got the draft cap. They've got 3 potential first-round draft picks. They'll get another quarterback. It just sounds all easier said than done to me. Do you like the fact that the Eagles are going to have this 1-year tryout for Jalen Hurts, and then if it doesn't work, don't spread it. We'll get another quarterback.
Well, no, I would rather still have, Carson Wentz playing great and, being the entrenched franchise quarterback, the way it was supposed to be. He wasn't supposed to react the way he reacted to them drafting Jalen Hurts. And, we've all been through this for the last couple of months. That's gone. Okay. It's sort of like, when I ripped McMullen yesterday, I ripped him yesterday. Now I move on. We have to move on with Jalen Hurts.
Got to turn the page. Yeah.
Right. We got to turn the page and give him a shot. But if the season does devolve into something similar of last year and you end up with Flacco the final couple of games, I'm all for that because that might get us even further up in the draft with their own initial pick. But does that mean they're going to be able to draft a quarterback high up? Probably, because Howie's a good maneuverer, and trader. And, if they've got the 5th pick and they need the 3rd pick, he'll probably find a way to do it because he's really good with that. But is Kevon Slovis going to be the answer if that's the kid they take out of USC? I've seen all these mock drafts. Evidently, all the mock drafters do not believe in Jalen Hurts because they've all got him taking a quarterback in the first round.
A quarterback.
Right.
Even the kid from Liberty. I love that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he did go to Auburn.
Yeah.
So he does have some pedigree.
Yeah.
But I saw that one too. So nobody's believing, at least the guys who fill out these things. And again, that's sort of like the PFF list. It's like good stuff for us to talk about. But is it really, is there any kind of reality to it? We're not going to know for about another 11 months.
Well, Harry, you talk about the mock drafters. You're right. Whether it's Sam Howell, Spencer Rattler, Kedon Slovis, Malik Willis, on and on and on. Everybody's got the Eagles taking a quarterback. But now the people who cover the NFL, Diana Rossini being the latest, but it was Jason LaCanfora first. It was Peter King.
Mm-hmm.
Locally, it was Jeff McClain. I've said it myself. Nobody's shutting the door on Deshaun Watson. And there's a reason for that in this league.
Yeah. There's got to be. There's a lot of smoke and, some very reputable names. You rattled them all off. This won't die. So I think, having done this for a few years, there's got to be something to it. And if some, all these legal hurdles, and I'm no lawyer, but he looks like he's in some pretty serious trouble right now. And I don't know, does he get past that? Does he get past it this year, or is this something next year? I haven't stopped thinking about Deshaun Watson. I mean, he's been one of my backdrops on the show on the middle in the past because he's a hell of a talented quarterback, and he doesn't want to be in Houston. That is true. If they can find a way to get him out of here, and Miami has some serious interest as well as the Eagles, I would not put it past Howie Roseman, Jeffrey Lurie, legal hurdles cleared, make a move on him. I could see it.
Here's why I think that the Deshaun Watson thing is being oversold. I keep busting John Stones and any of the guests we have on. I'm going to bust yours too about Zach Ertz.
Yeah.
And the fact that another day is come and gone and Zach Ertz is still an Eagle, even though several media members here in town have had Zach Ertz. This is the week. Zach Ertz will be gone this week. They're talking about a trade. He'll be done this week. And Zach Ertz is still here. I get that we've got a date in the future that would be June 1st when salary cap ramifications lighten up. That makes sense that the Eagles could act at that time. There's no real date here for Deshaun Watson. I guess Deshaun Watson, if he's desperate to play football this year, looks at the start of the season as that date. But the Texans are not pushed by it.
No.
They went out and got themselves a fill-in, hold down the fort type quarterback to be their starter this year in Tyrod Taylor. They drafted a potential future quarterback in the drafts this year still. So they're not overly motivated. They want to get as much as they can in return for Deshaun Watson, and they'll let the time frame play out as they think is best for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that they know what is best for them yet. So I don't think there's this circle the date on the calendar type day that you can say, all right, as of this day, now it becomes more doable. Now it makes more sense. I think the Texans are not all that bent out of shape that this upcoming season is going to be bad. They know they've got their own draft pick back this year, and they can go get that quarterback, the Sam Howells of the world, the Keaton Slovises of the world. So I don't think they're worried about how many games they win this year. That's why I don't think Deshaun Watson is happening anytime soon.
Yeah, probably not anytime soon, because there's also that looming idea of a commissioner's exempt list too, which could prohibit him from playing football for at least 8 games, 6 games, whatever it ends up being, or the entire season. But between now and next year's draft, if the Eagles actuate the 3rd first-round picks, they have a lot of ammunition and could give 2 of those easily to the Houston Texans and find their next franchise quarterback.
All right, Harry, I'm going to give you a hypothetical. Jody likes hypotheticals.
So do I.
I'm going to give you one. All right, Deshaun Watson is suspended for 6 games, the Ezekiel Elliott suspension. So there's no commissioner's exempt list. The Texans aren't off the hook other than the suspension. Would the Eagles make a deal under that circumstance, knowing he would be there week 7? Would they go, if you have that certainty, is that enough? Jeffrey Lurie's proven. People talk about Mike Vick, but you can go to Riley Cooper. You can go to last year with Deshaun Jackson and the anti-Semitic stuff. He's been a second chance guy.
Yep.
Does he say, that's enough for me? Let's go get this guy.
I think there's a strong possibility that would happen. Yeah, I do. And maybe you got to go get his own personal masseuse. I saw that the Ohio State there was a certain masseuse that was offering services to the Ohio State football players that included more than just a massage. So maybe you hire her and bring her in as an in-house masseuse that travels with Deshaun everywhere he goes to keep him on the straight and narrow.
There's got to be an addendum to the contract about the masseuses.
Exactly.
You got to cut it to one masseuse.
I've never had a massage. Are you guys big massage guys?
I've had
my whole life.
I've had, I think, 2. I'm going to say, but I'm very uncomfortable.
Yeah,
a lot of anxiety. Like, it's supposed to relax you.
Yeah,
it's tremendous anxiety for me.
I can't imagine it being very relaxing.
My honeymoon, that was it. One, because it came as part of the package. I had prepaid for it, so I said I might as well have it done here. So I did. And this Ohio State guy, you're not going to tell me Justin Fields is going to be tied to this, is he?
No,
Did he get the massage plus?
No.
I don't know.
He's my guy. I'm rooting for him for the Bears this year.
I know, and I like him a lot too.
Maybe that was the red flag, Jody. Maybe that's why it was off the Eagles' board.
I know.
Man. But I got to know, Jody, was there a heart-shaped tub included in the package that you purchased for the honeymoon?
No such luck. And if there was, I'd admit to it. I'd admit to you off the air, Harry, but I wouldn't admit to it on the air. Even if we're on the air, what is this? This is YouTube anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can say what you want here.
Back
As I
to
often
the Birds.
Deshaun Watson is a fuck you player. Jody knows what that means.
Yeah, I know. That's part of your vernacular on the Birds 365, the FU player. I love that.
A very well-known John McMullen expression.
Yeah.
Speaking of FU, I believe that Devontae Smith is going to say that to all his critics this upcoming year. Those who's 166 pounds. I can draft a guy's 166 pounds.
Yeah.
Well, he was 166 pounds when he won the Heisman Trophy in the SEC as Alabama won another championship. I've been saying FU to all his critics this offseason, and I love the fact that he landed here in Philadelphia. Everyone did get to see his very spindly legs up close and personal last week during rookie camp. Were you one of those guys who said, yeah, I don't know about a 166-pound wide receiver in the National Football League, or do you believe he's going to continue his Heisman activities in the National Football League?
Well, it wasn't so much that I questioned his ability at the NFL level. I did have a sort of a, I weighed the, do you take him at 12, or take him at 10, which they ended up doing. I did look at that because 166 pounds, getting off press coverage, finding, they'll scheme him open, and I get all that. And he succeeded at the highest level, but there is a durability question that you have to at least consider when it comes to playing in the NFL and suiting up for now, 17, 18 weeks. Availability is the greatest ability when it comes to the NFL. Your man Bill Parcells used to always say things like that, Jody. So
Bill Parcells. Hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah, well, I mean, you like Parcells when he was wearing green and white.
No. Parcells and I never saw eye to eye. No.
Oh, is that right?
No.
How do you not like Bill Parcells, man?
Yeah.
All right. Do you need the story?
Yes.
Do you have to have the story?
Yes.
All right. Let's wind back the clock to 1990. Yours truly, coming from New York, doing my first couple shows here in Philadelphia, hired to be the midday guy at WIP.
Oh, I think I heard this, but go ahead.
Okay, quickly then I'll tell it.
Yeah.
We got nothing but time here on YouTube.
Yeah.
I was trying to be a young and aggressive individual. I thought it might be impressive just showing up from New York, get a job in Philadelphia. I had been in press conference with Bill Parcells previously, knew the Giants PR guy, tried to work it out to get Bill Parcells to come out with me in my Philadelphia show, my first month on the air, blah, blah, blah. The PR guy gets back to me and says, oh, Jody, Coach really apologizes. He wanted to come on with you, but he's got a standing policy that he never goes on shows in town when the Giants are going to be playing that team. It's just a rule that he has put in place, and he never flies in the face of it. So he says maybe later in the year, maybe after the season's over, he'll come on with you, he likes you, blah, 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 blah. In other words, the answer is no. Okay, fine. Thank you very much. So I'm driving over the bridge 2 days later, the Ben Franklin, to drive into WIP, and I hear Tom Brookshire mention, and joining us tomorrow will be Coach Bill Parcells of the New York Giants.
It's always
Wait
personal.
a minute.
Yeah.
He gave me this spiel about he won't do the town that the Eagles are coming into play. In other words, Brookie's tight with Summerall. Summerall's tight with Parcells. Yeah, and Parcells shows up on WIP. Not going to show up on the McDonald's show, but the Tom Brookshire show, no issue. We'll rewrite those rules.
Yeah.
So basically, from that point on, 1990 on, Bill and I have never seen
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
now
always
you know what,
personal. It's
right
always
now you
personal.
know what
Of course it is.
Right now you know what we go through on a daily basis, trying to get guests on the middle, and they're all coming on with you and McMullen.
Yeah, well, that's the bane of my existence, Harry. I got 17 jobs. I say my most difficult one is getting people to come on the show, booking guests.
It's not easy.
Yeah, and there's one guy who I badly want to get on, and he gave me the runaround, and I want to rip him publicly, like Jody just did with Bill Parcells, but I'm still holding out hope he might come on, so I can't do it yet. That's painful.
Oh, okay. So you're not going to out him yet.
No, I'm not going to out him yet.
Right.
But I'm going to out him.
I burned the Parcells bridge.
Yeah.
You don't even have to try and go down that road, Josh.
Right.
He's not coming on with us anytime soon.
But this is a big name. This is a big name who gave me a
bigger
surgery.
than Bill Parcells?
Yeah, locally probably.
Okay.
Not bigger nationally, but locally bigger. Gave me a surgery excuse. That's a hint to you, Jody Mack. You probably know.
I know where you're going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so he knows where I'm going.
All right.
Now we got derailed. I feel like Sanders.
Yeah, I know. I'm used to it. I'm used to it.
All right, get it back to the Eagles. We'll close it out with Nick Sirianni. We've talked a lot, Harry. Your thoughts. energetic guy, loves ball, rock, paper, scissors. Can this work in a modern environment? Is it too high schoolish?
The rah-rah stuff, which is I like to call it, kind of would wear thin on me. I think if I was in a locker room, I'd be like, get a load of this. You're going to have to do something else to really get me to buy in. Give me a good, sound offensive philosophy or something else that I can really sort of sink my teeth into. I'm not into the rock, paper, scissors and all this, super high excitement like he's, just drank like, 6 espressos out of Starbucks or something. This guy's off the chain, fired up and motivated, and that's great. But I'm just going to go into it with an open mind, and I want to see what this guy does as far as his philosophy on football. Is it going to be what we saw in with the Indianapolis Colts? If it is, and it turns out that way, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good team. I'll take that.
Oh, with the competition stuff. I forgot that.
Oh,
yeah.
Well. Yeah.
Jody and I differ a little bit. I'm like, come on.
There's a lot of positions that are not competitive right now on this roster, and we get that. But that's a lot of coach speak. I get it.
What do you want him to do? Bench one of the guys that you have already penciled in and as an unquestioned starter?
Show me there's competition. And I'm not even talking about Fletcher Cox. I'm talking about Eric Wilson's of the world. He's not even competing. There's certain guys we know that are entrenched. Lane, Brandon Brooks, if he's healthy, Jason Kelsey, Fletcher Cox. Those guys are Pro Bowl. Brandon Grant, Pro Bowl level players. Yeah. I'm talking about guys like Eric Wilson and Isaac Seumalo and Jalen Reagor. There's no competition.
What about the quarterback? There's no competition there, is there?
There's no competition.
I know Joe Flacco might have other ideas, but come on. If that's competition and he gets beat out, we got serious problems.
I watched Flacco play for my Jets last year. Not as bad as everyone expected.
Yeah.
Better days are behind him.
Jalen Hurts' only competition is in Houston right now. That's it. That's the only competition he's got.
Or in Chapel Hill.
Or in
UCLA.
He's probably in a deposition, actually. His competition. He's probably in a deposition.
He's with an attorney right now.
Yeah. On goal score on Deshaun Watson. Yeah. All right, so coming into this upcoming season, Harry, the Eagles finished last in the NFC East this past year. For that, they did get the highest draft pick, and they spun it, trade down, trade back up, but they did have the highest draft pick. Are you placing them in last? I know we've got a lot to do, and we know the Eagles answered their cornerback position with the major acquisition yesterday, but there may even be more moves to be made between now and the regular season, and there could be injuries to the other teams in this division, but we ask you today in a vacuum,
right?
Where are the Eagles going to finish in the NFC least this year?
I think it's between them and the New York Football Giants battling for the cellar. And I think that could be – because I like Washington's defense a lot. And I think, if Fitzmagic can stay vertical for 17 games, he can throw it to the other team's jersey on occasion. But I like him as a stopgap quarterback for them. They've upgraded their offense, their offensive line. I think they're pretty good. I think they're better. And I like Dallas as long as Dak can come back from that injury, sooner than later. I think it's advantageous for the Birds to play Dallas early in the season because I don't know, what Dak is going to be like. He could play, he might not be 100%. So I think that's advantageous. But I think Dallas's roster is really good too. It's between the Giants and the Eagles for like a 7-10 finish.
All right, last one from me, Harry, and everybody listen to the middle with Harry Aton. Brent, is Barrett going to be there? I almost said Barrett. Yeah, is he going to be there today?
Oh, he's
That's
there.
Good.
Yep, Barrett comes every day unless he's got a golf outing to go to. Yeah.
He had NFL alum. Did he go to the NFL alumni one this week?
He did not. That was scheduled for this past Monday, and we were because Barrett. I don't know if Barrett really knows his schedule until like 2 days before. Because he lets us know Friday that he's not going to be there this past Monday. Oh, yeah, I got the NFL golf and we're like, why are you letting us know now? We could have done the show from down there. So then we get on him about it.
Oh, yeah.
And then he feels bad. So he tried to get the show there on Monday. It was down at Running Deer, one of Jaws's nice golf courses. And apparently that didn't happen because they had some other radio representation there. So we were out. So Barrett didn't go because we couldn't do the show there. So how about that for a team?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is impressive.
It is impressive.
Now, how much are you going to be able to get through the middle with no mini camp? Can you guys put together a couple hours with no mini camp?
I don't know, man. It's really tough because you get so much, from that, 10, 12 minutes the media gets to watch, the players run around in their shorts and so forth. Yeah, we never really got a whole lot out of mini camp. Yeah. We tried, but in the past, so I know better to go somewhere else. I'm hoping this Sixers team gives us a lot of entertainment over the next couple months and takes us into early July.
I was going to say that, Harry. Not too shabby, seeing as the Sixers are going to the NBA Finals.
Right.
There is something for you to tap into.
No doubt.
We got non-minicamp stories here on Birds 365, but at least you do have a basketball team. Yeah. And I think the fan base in this town needs to kind of jump on this Sixer train.
I agree.
Because the Eagles are going to be below 500, and the Phillies are a 500 team, and the Flyers were massively disappointing this year. You want to have something to sink your teeth into fan-wise, better get on that Sixer bandwagon because I think they're going to the NBA Final.
Yeah, I think so too. I really do. I think they're definitely in the Eastern Conference Final. They got a freeway to the Eastern Conference Finals with the way the standings set up. But I agree with you. They play to their potential, and Ben Simmons and Embiid can stay healthy throughout. I think they're going to be playing in early July against the team from the West.
We need a good run.
Yep.
I'll tell you that. We need it.
For Harry's sake on the middle, my sake at night. For our sake, you were good enough to hop on board with us today. Send our regards to Shander. We just talked to him yesterday, but make sure you tell him hi. We said hi. Tell Barrett no more golfing for him. Can he golf at all? Have you ever played with Barrett?
I played with Barrett. Barrett is he likes to just hit it as far as he can hit it and not really care about where it's going.
Is he a big hitter? He's got to be.
Oh yeah. I mean, he can when he gets a hold of one, it's gonna go.
Yeah.
It could go left, but it's gonna go.
It's gonna go. May never be seen again, but it's gonna go.
Right.
Well, he will be seen again coming up later today on the middle. You'll be seen again here with us. We're gonna bring him back again. That's a given. Harry Mays, thank you much for coming on with us today.
Anytime, guys. Love the show.
Mays here with us on Birds 365. All right, coming back. Johnny and I will put a bow on the show, wrap this bad boy up. Don't go anywhere. McMullen and McDonald right back on Birds.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.